Here, the 359 awaits a transformation. As you have seen it, all the wheels and axles stripped off of it, wiring, area line, you name it. And here is our donor truck. It's a 2006 Peterbilt 387, all on flex air in the back, 355 gears. We stripped all the tanks off of it, battery boxes, and we're going to use this whole, we're cutting this truck all the way up here. So we're going to cut it, and that way our splice line is about 6-8 inches behind our U-joint there at the transmission, way underneath the cab. And then we'll be sticking the inside of our double frame on the 359 all the way back to this cross member here that has our carrier bearing on it. So we'll have a good 4 feet of doubler on that and do a pretty nice job on it, is what I'm expecting. So we're gonna retain this whole entire drive line made up to our transmission. I'm hoping that the yoke off of this transmission will work on the yoke of our transmission. If not, I'm gonna have to do something there, figure that out. But yeah, all on flex air, 355 gears. Got good wheels all the way around. I'm going to use, polish them up, fifth wheel, everything. Kind of replace things as needed on this rear half. Probably new bags right off the bat, new shocks. Eventually, if they hold air for now, we're going to leave them just to get the truck running and driving, and then I'll go through and replace that stuff. But majority of all this air line's in really good shape. Probably end up using a lot of that. And then hopefully eventually I'm gonna also swap this front axle, is what the plan is. I gotta do some measuring, but I believe this front axle, other than having to re-drill for the U-bolts and the center lug, I believe this will work. The pitman arm is in the same location on this axle as our axle, so hopefully that all works out. Our steering box is mounted behind, but like I said, so is it on the 359. So hopefully this all works out. Like I said, got everything stripped back, all cribbed up here. Got a block pinching our cab up, hinged up right now. So in the end, I'm going to end up with this chunk of frame and this cab. I am supposed to return the engine and transmission back to the junkyard after I get done with it here, and I don't need this cab. So hopefully going to take the whole chunk once I get the front axle out of it. So stay tuned. There's lots of tools to pick a job, but I didn't ever expect that we would do this with a Milwaukee angle iron or angle grinder with one cutoff wheel. Never even changed cutoff wheel, and just zipped her off right there, both sides. We're gonna hook telehandler up here to this cross member and then yank the thing back. Well, got her cut apart. I'm gonna take that yoke off of that transmission there, because it's different style U-joints than what it is on my 359, and that way I can use all of the U-joints and drive shafts off of this thing and start getting her on there. I am going to remove this cross member here. My cab cross member will be about right there anyways. All the rest of them will be all factory 2006 Peterbilt stuff here. I even think the tank locations are going to work out good, so that's why I left those brackets on there for now, and because they're hook bolted and I didn't want to go through all the trouble right now if I didn't have to, and kind of get the rest of this stripped off. This did have ABS on it, so change those brake valves over to just regular ones and see about getting this on there. This is going to need, you know, we'll probably go ahead and put chambers on it and brake valves and shocks and some bags and do a few things to this. Eventually I'll get all this painted up. I want to paint the whole frame on the truck after I get it all put back together, get all this sandblasted up and cleaned up and all that, but it should be a pretty nice splice job between the two, so stay tuned. Little update on project. Got our cutoff all trimmed up. Removed some fuel tank brackets here. Double frame is going to slide all the way on the inside back to this cross member. That's going to get welded up underneath the cab, retaining all the factory 2006 driveline assembly. Had to look around and find a 10 spline yoke for my transmission, and luckily was able to track one of those down. Got the part number and found it on eBay. Pretty cheap. But we're gonna do some tape measuring here, and the whole frame is gonna get whacked off somewhere in here somewhere, and then, you know, a good, I think we measured out 50 some odd inches, is gonna get shoved up into the frame of the donor there. And then the weld seam will be somewhere like in here somewhere. So hopefully some pretty good progress today. Still can't believe I was able to track down this yoke to update to the newer style U-joint and still hold my speedometer drive. So going pretty good so far. As Dad said, no turning back now. That should be where the end of our double plates stop there. So goodbye old frame. We'll end up cutting out a frame up there, and all that inner will go into the new. No more looking back after this cut. Got that cross member all loosened up for the cab, and the cab supported out here. That is our cut line. We ended up with 54.5 inches of double frame that'll be on the inside of our new frame, all bolted in place between, I have winch bolts here that everything will get bolted through, cross member bolts, more bolts up there. It'll be very well supported, and then of course welded at the front, everything beat out. So that's where we're at right now. Hopefully pretty soon, by the end of the day, we will be rolling again. Got the end of the frame all prepped here for some welding. Basically measured from the U-joint to the back cross member to get our distances and everything of where we're going to cut at. So here we go. We're getting ready to slide it together. Did put a little bit of primer on the inside of the frame rails and the outside of these frame rails just to kind of help it out. I do plan on sandblasting the whole frame and painting it, but I wanted some more paint kind of in between there to help on any corrosion. But these inside frame rails were just in really good shape. Well, pretty decent day today. Managed to get it all slipped on there. Got it bolted down in 4 spots right now. Started getting it welded there. Dress all that down. I was working on drilling cab mount bolts there through the outside new frame rails and broke one of my annual cutters, so need to get some extras. I was running low, but yeah, overall pretty happy. I'm very excited to get the welding done and kind of see where the ride height looks like. I'm gonna swap the front axle out with a Meritor axle instead of the axle out of this other Peterbilt that the suspension came off of. Got some information that looks like it's going to be quite a bit easier of a swap, so pretty happy. Pretty easy day. Like I said, get some other holes drilled for the cab mounts, get my weld stress down, and then I think we're going to pull this thing down and take the fifth wheel off of it and sandblast the frame, get a good coat of paint on it, some industrial urethane high gloss. We are going to have to move our fuel tank brackets backwards. When I measured it all out, our fuel tanks were going to be about 2 inches underneath the cab, and I don't think I'm going to have room for the exhaust to come up between there and the toolboxes. I really need to get a set of toolboxes ordered. I've been dragging my feet because they're so goddamn expensive. But I guess I'm only going to do it once. So I think what I'll do is these fuel tank brackets, I'm just going to move them back 1 set of holes, drill a new set of holes there, and probably weld those holes up. Got a couple other holes I want to kind of dress up on the frame and weld up, get rid of, stuff like that too. Yeah, pretty decent day, pretty happy with it. Really excited to get it down on the ground. Right now it's still lifted up with the hoist because the front end sits way higher than what the ride height is of this flex air. So we'll see what happens. Hey guys, thanks for following along with the video. Kind of keep you going as I go here. I know it hasn't been super in-depth, or you haven't been watching me work or anything like that, but just trying to kind of give you the nitty-gritty of what I did. Seen lots of people do cutoffs over the years, with this being the double frame and being able to slide that up in there like we did. To me, it really couldn't have worked on any better, so very happy with that and the decision of doing that. I had originally talked about bolting the suspension to my original frame, which I probably could have done, but this was a lot faster and really, I don't know that you can get any stronger than what the way that I've done it here. I've seen a lot of cutoffs done, not near kind of what I feel like I'm doing here. So anyways, keep you updated as I go. Sorry I haven't caught all of it. I've been running this YouTube channel off of some junk used GoPros with horrible batteries. Definitely need to upgrade maybe at some point, but they were cheap, and it's what kind of got me going doing this. So thanks for watching. Jay Iron. Check out the next video that comes out after this, and you know, drop us some comments. Let us know what you think of the videos, if you like them, what you'd like to see different. Go from there. Thank you.